Chosen one. Pause right here. Something is moving through the air around you, a whisper not from this world. You can sense it, can't you? That quiet pull that says this moment is different. Heaven has interrupted your timeline to show you what eyes on earth have not seen. This isn't coincidence. This is divine timing. Right now, the veil between realms grows thin because the angels have drawn near. They come bearing a message, and within that message, a glimpse of your new home. You have carried so much, the weight of the unseen, the questions that have no answers, the ache that refuses to leave. You've walked through nights that felt endless, wondering if God still remembered your name. Yet every tear you released was counted, every silence was heard in the courts above. And today, the heavens respond not with words alone, but with a vision. The angels reveal something luminous, a portrait painted with divine light. It is not an ordinary picture. It moves, breathes, shimmers with eternal peace. You recognize it instantly even though you've never seen it before. It feels like home, not a house made by human hands, but a dwelling crafted by grace. The air in that place vibrates with love, and every color glows with purpose. You realize it's more than beauty, it's belonging. Heaven is showing you your destination so that you remember why you're still walking. This message reaches you because you are ready. You've passed through enough storms to handle revelation without pride. You've been broken enough to understand glory without arrogance. What you are being shown is sacred. Do not treat it lightly. The angels don't appear to flatter you. They come to confirm that your journey has not been in vain. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Jeremiah, chapter 29, verse 11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future. That promise was not written for someone else, it was spoken for this very moment. The vision you're being shown is evidence of those plans. You've wondered if there was still purpose left in your pain. This is the answer: there always was. Every disappointment was redirection, every closed door was preservation, and every waiting season was preparation. Chosen one. Look again. The photo glows with peace because that same peace is meant to dwell inside you. What you see there is what you're becoming here. The garden in that vision represents your restored soul. The light that spills from its windows mirrors the wisdom you've gained through suffering. The walls stand tall because they are built from your perseverance. You are not just being shown a place, you are being shown yourself transformed. The angels smile as they hand you the vision. They know you will understand. You don't need translation, your spirit already recognizes home. You feel the shift in your heart, the quiet knowing that something eternal has just been revealed. This is your inheritance. It's the Father's way of saying, you belong here. But heaven's messages always carry responsibility. To see your new home is to be called to live like it. From this day, you can no longer walk as one uncertain of destiny. You have seen too much. You have tasted eternity's air. Let that awareness shape your words, your choices, your faith. Live as one who already has a place prepared. Let your peace be unshakable, because the vision is proof that your story is not ending, it's unfolding. If your spirit feels the truth in these words, take this moment to respond in faith, like this message so others can find it. Share it so another wandering soul might remember where they belong. And subscribe so you remain connected to what heaven continues to reveal through these messages. This act is not about numbers, it's about alignment. Every click is an echo saying, yes, I receive now. Before you move on, leave one number in the comment 777 to mark the moment you saw your future home. It is your prophetic signature, a sign that you accept what heaven has revealed and you are ready for what comes next. The light you feel right now is not fleeting. It is a seal upon your spirit. Every time doubt whispers, remember this vision: your true home already exists, and heaven is guiding you toward it. Let peace settle in your chest like sunrise after a storm. You are not lost, not forgotten. The same hands that built your eternal dwelling are shaping your next chapter here on earth. The air feels different now. After the vision of your new home was revealed, something inside you refuses to go back to the way it was. The world looks dimmer, quieter, as if heaven's brightness has made earthly things fade. You sense presence, gentle but powerful, following you like wind that carries whispers. The angels have not left. They linger, surrounding you with calm. They are guardians of revelation, ensuring that what you've been shown takes root. Their message continues, but it comes differently now, not through thunder or flashes of light, but through stillness. The voice of heaven rarely shouts. It comes as breath, as understanding, as a thought that feels too pure to be your own. You begin to grasp what the angels were truly saying through the image they showed you: that your future home is not simply a place after death, but a promise shaping your life even now. This realization humbles you. You think back to moments when despair tried to bury your hope. There were nights when you begged for one sign that your suffering had meaning. You did not know those prayers were already being built into walls of glory in that divine dwelling. The construction of your eternal home has never ceased. It advances every time you choose forgiveness over bitterness, faith over fear, compassion over silence. Heaven's architecture is built with invisible bricks: your obedience, endurance, surrender. The angels reveal another layer of mystery. Heaven's timeline and earth's timeline often overlap. When your heart aligns with divine purpose, you start living pieces of eternity now. Every act of love sends ripples that decorate your heavenly home. The colors you saw glowing there are the hues of your faith expressed on earth. You understand that your life is not disconnected moments, it is one continuous design stretching from time into eternity. You recall the brightness that radiated from that home and realize it reflected the peace you're meant to carry daily. That peace is not an escape from chaos, but authority over it. It's the same peace Jesus carried when storms surrounded him. You were shown your home not to run from the world, but to walk through it with unshakable calm. The angels remind you of what is written, for heaven always anchors vision with word. It is written in the book of Isaiah, chapter 32, verse 18. My people will live in peaceful dwelling places, in secure homes, in undisturbed places of rest. That is what the image represents. Your destiny is peace, not just after the struggle, but in the middle of it. You begin to sense the depth of that promise. Peaceful dwelling places means more than quiet surroundings. It speaks of interior stability no storm can break. Even now, you feel the first stones of that house forming within you. When you forgive, another room is built. When you trust, another window open. When you speak kindness, another garden blooms. The same light that fills your eternal home is filling your heart, transforming you into a reflection of that place. As the angels hover near, they whisper a single truth: heaven begins wherever surrender begins. You realize your divine home is not only waiting, it's expanding toward you. Each day you choose light. The distance between heaven and earth narrows. The presence that will one day surround you begins to live inside you now. You close your eyes. The noise of the world fades. You see again the image of that radiant place, your home, and this time it's not distant. It overlays your life, merging with it. You see your hands glowing with the same light that poured from its walls. You see your breath releasing calm into the air. The angels smile because you finally understand you are already part of heaven's atmosphere. There is no rush, no panic, no striving, only awareness. Awareness that you are seen, that you are becoming what you were shown, that heaven's design unfolds with every choice. The vision wasn't to entertain imagination, but to anchor identity. You walk differently now, quiet, steady, aware. You may still face trials, but you carry a photo in your spirit, a reminder that all things lead you home. The angels need not speak again. Their message has taken root. You are living prophecy, walking testimony, and breathing evidence that heaven touches earth through those who believe. The light around you softens, folding gently into your spirit. Heaven no longer feels above you, it feels within, pulsing quietly like a second heartbeat guiding every step. You smile, knowing the vision was never the end but the beginning. What was once shown to you now shines through you, heaven made visible in motion. You wake the next morning with the vision still alive in your chest. It doesn't fade like a dream. It deepens like memory. The more you think about it, the more it feels like home calling to you from across eternity. You can still see that light, still sense the fragrance of the air that carried no sorrow. And even as you move through your day, a soft awareness follows you. The angels are still near. They begin to speak again, not through words, but through understanding that rises like dawn in your spirit. You realize the photo you saw was not an image on display, it was an invitation. Heaven was saying, this is where you belong, but also what you must become. The angels reveal that every chosen one is shown a picture of promise before stepping fully into purpose. It is heaven's way of igniting transformation. You are reminded of every trial that once made you question your worth. You remember when you stood on the edge of surrender, wondering if the calling was too heavy. Yet those moments were the molding ground for the strength you carry now. You see how heaven never wastes pain. It refines it into light. As your thoughts unfold, the Spirit whispers a truth that steadies you. Your vision was not just for comfort, it was for correction. Heaven didn't show you peace so you could escape turmoil. It showed you peace so you would carry it into chaos. The light of your new home is meant to leak into the darkest corners of this world. You are heaven's messenger in motion. You think again about the details of that sacred image. Every color, every sound, every glimmer spoke something specific. The golden pathways reflected divine wisdom, the same wisdom now forming in your mind. The calm river symbolized mercy, the same mercy you're now called to extend. The strong foundation under your feet represented faith, the very faith being tested today. The photo was never static. It was alive, breathing with instruction. The angels stand quietly, letting you absorb it all. Then they remind you of what was written long ago. According to the book of Revelation, chapter 21, verse 4, He will wipe every tear from their eyes. There will be no more death or mourning or crying or pain, for the old order of things has passed away. The image of your home was built on that truth, the proof that every sorrow has an expiration date. The realization overwhelms you. You have been looking at your life through temporary pain, but heaven has always seen you through eternal promise. The angels begin to fade from sight, but not from presence. One of them leaves you with a message that burns into your spirit: live from the vision, not toward it. In other words, stop chasing what has already been given. Start manifesting what you've already seen. You walk forward now with purpose. The ordinary places you go, your home, your work, the streets you travel begin to feel like extensions of that heavenly landscape. You recognize how much influence you truly carry. Where others see emptiness, you see potential. Where others feel despair, you feel destiny. You are beginning to understand what it means to be a chosen one, not simply to witness heaven, but to reflect it. The weight of this revelation might seem heavy, but it's the kind of weight that makes you stronger. Every action becomes sacred. Every word becomes seed. Every step becomes alignment with the photo etched into your soul. You were never called to live small, you were called to live luminous. And now, as you let this truth settle, you are invited to declare your agreement with heaven's message. Write these words in the comments: I receive light. This is not just a sentence, it is a spiritual act. When you write it, you are signaling to heaven that you have accepted revelation, that the light you saw in the vision is now the light you choose to live by. It becomes a covenant moment between your spirit and the divine, marking the exact second when what was shown above begins to manifest below. Every letter carries intention. Every word becomes a doorway through which heaven's peace enters your present reality. By declaring I receive light, you are saying I no longer walk in confusion. I walk illuminated by purpose. For a long moment, stay still. Feel what happens when you align with truth. The atmosphere changes again, subtly yet unmistakably. The same peace that once seemed distant now flows through you like a steady current. Heaven smiles, its message delivered, its photo received, its light alive in you. You continue walking through the day, yet everything feels different now. The city noise no longer pierces your peace. It moves around you like waves around a rock. You've become aware of a rhythm deeper than sound, the pulse of heaven echoing within you. The image of your divine home, once distant, now lingers at the edge of your awareness. It isn't fading, it's growing clearer, like a sunrise overtaking the horizon. You begin to sense the subtle language of heaven, the way ordinary things start speaking extraordinary truths. The morning light pouring through your window reminds you of the golden glow you saw in that heavenly place. The breeze against your skin feels like a faint echo of the same breath that moved through that vision. The earth itself seems to whisper, "You're closer than you realize." The angel's message has become part of your heartbeat. You start to understand why they showed you your home now, not later. Revelation is always timely. Heaven reveals what you are ready to embody. You have reached a moment in your journey when distraction must die and destiny must lead. The photo of your home was a signal, a sacred reminder that what is coming is greater than what was lost. You remember how the angels looked at you not with pity, but with recognition. They saw something in you that perhaps you had forgotten, the spark of divine origin, the signature of heaven imprinted on your soul. And in their gaze, you recognized your true self, the one untouched by fear, unchanged by failure, unbroken by time. That version of you already lives in that radiant home. The life you lead now is simply the journey to align with that higher version. There is a strange peace that comes when you realize your destination is already secured. The need to compete fades. The urge to prove dissolves. You no longer chase what belongs to you. Instead, you begin to walk with quiet confidence, trusting that every step brings you deeper into what heaven has already prepared. You find yourself drawn to silence more often, not because you're tired of people, but because silence is where you hear eternity breathe. In that stillness, the divine begins to instruct you. Sometimes it comes as a verse that rises from memory, sometimes as warmth in your chest, sometimes as a whisper too soft for ears but too real for denial. You're learning the art of listening beyond sound. We are reminded through the writings of David in the book of Psalms, chapter 91, verse 1. Whoever dwells in the shelter of the Most High will rest in the shadow of the Almighty. That verse becomes alive to you now. You are no longer just reading it. You are living it. The shelter of the Most High is not a faraway refuge. It's the atmosphere around you, the unseen covering over every step you take. When anxiety tries to rise, you remember your home. When confusion whispers, you recall the light. That memory becomes a shield. You start to realize that heaven's photo wasn't just a promise, it was preparation. The peace you felt there was training your spirit for what's coming in that vision. There was no chaos, no fear, no lack. And now, the Spirit teaches you to carry that same order into your present life. The divine dwelling you saw becomes the blueprint for how you speak, think, and love. Every time you choose peace over panic, you align the visible world with the invisible one. The more you walk in this awareness, the more heaven begins to manifest through you. Your presence changes rooms. People can't explain it, but they feel lighter near you. The same radiance that once surrounded your heavenly home now flows through your eyes, your tone, your silence. You have become a living reflection of the place you glimpsed. Still, the angels do not vanish completely. Sometimes you sense them when you pray, other times when you stand under the night sky. They don't need to speak now, their message is already written in your spirit. You are a bridge between realms, a reminder that heaven and earth are not opposites, but echoes of one another. The photo they sent was never meant to stay on the outside. It was meant to awaken what already exists within you. And now that you've seen it, you can't unsee it. You will carry it through storms and seasons, through laughter and loss. Wherever you go, that light travels with you, a quiet promise that you are never far from home. There are moments when revelation settles like dew, quiet, gentle, unmistakably divine. You find yourself sitting in silence, remembering everything the angels showed you, and you realize something profound. Heaven's message was never meant to end with you. It was meant to flow through you. You were chosen not only to see, but to share. As the days unfold, you start noticing how the world is hungrier than it seems. People pass by wearing smiles that don't reach their eyes. Some carry invisible weight, others walk with hearts quietly breaking. You begin to understand why heaven revealed your home, because when you carry peace, you become a living doorway for others to glimpse it too. Every time you speak hope, you open a window. Every time you show kindness, a little more of heaven shines through. You realize something else: the message you carry is light, but even light needs a vessel. A lamp cannot shine without oil. Heaven pours revelation into your spirit, but to share it, to keep the flame alive, requires community. It requires hands that hold, hearts that agree, voices that echo truth into the digital noise of this world. You remember how the angels said your home reflected your faith. Now you see it again: your earthly actions build eternal beauty. This message, this movement of light, is not about one person, it's about a family of chosen ones, spread across the earth, each holding a spark of the same fire. The ancient words recorded in Proverbs, that's in chapter 11, verse 25, declare a generous person will prosper. Whoever refreshes others will be refreshed. That promise feels alive inside you. It explains the quiet joy that rises whenever you give, whenever you help another soul find peace. You realize giving is not losing, it is multiplying grace. That's why what you do matters. Every time you press like, it's as if you strike a small match in the dark, reminding the world that light still answers shadows. Every share becomes a river carrying that flame farther than one heart could reach alone. And when you subscribe, it's like planting your flag in the kingdom of light, saying, I belong to this frequency of hope. And for those who feel a stirring deeper than that, there is another way to give quietly, freely, without obligation. To donate is not payment, it's participation. It is like pouring oil into a lamp so its glow never fades. It's like adding another log to the fire so the warmth reaches every soul gathered around. Your gift, however small, is a whisper saying, "Let there always be light." When you support, you're not buying a blessing, you're building one. You're saying, "Let there always be hope for the weary, peace for the searching, truth for those scrolling in silence." You're helping this message reach souls who might never step into a church, but still long to hear heaven's voice. You begin to see how true that is. Every act of giving time, attention, or support comes back in peace multiplied. When you give, heaven doesn't take, it expands. Your generosity becomes the echo of the kingdom itself, where nothing is lost and everything shared becomes increase. So you breathe, smile, and let gratitude rise. You are part of something larger than algorithms or platforms. You are part of a divine pattern, a stream of light that moves through voices, through screens, through hearts. The angels rejoice when even one soul says, "I will help carry the light." No one is watching with judgment, heaven only watches with joy. Whether your offering is a prayer whispered softly, a click of like to keep the flame visible, a share that releases hope into the world, a subscribe that joins the family of light, or a donation that keeps the lamp burning, do it as worship, not duty. Let it be as free as light leaving the sun. And as you do, remember this truth: the same hand that receives your gift is the one that will bless it back. Heaven always returns what is given in love. The angels linger a moment longer, their presence faint but undeniable. You sense their gratitude, not for what you've given, but for what you've understood, that generosity is worship in motion. Faith turned into light. A soft wind moves through the room, almost like a breath of approval. You realize heaven does not measure offerings in numbers, but in love. What matters is the heart behind the act, not the scale of it, somewhere unseen. Another candle is lit because of you. The message travels, touching another soul, another home. And just like that, heaven's photo shines a little brighter. You awaken again with that familiar stillness, the same peace that followed the angelic vision. The light hasn't dimmed, if anything. It has settled deeper inside you. The memory of your new home no longer feels like a distant dream, but a living echo shaping your steps. You begin to sense that heaven is not only showing you where you are going, but who you must become before you arrive. Your surroundings look ordinary, yet something inside you has changed. The way you listen, the way you see, even the way you move, it all carries new awareness. You notice divine timing in small things, guidance in whispers, confirmation in coincidences that are no coincidence at all. Heaven is speaking in layers now. Each moment carries a message, and you are learning to read it. It feels almost like learning a new language, the language of alignment. It's not spoken through words, but through obedience, gratitude, and presence. When your heart stays in peace, heaven answers instantly. You begin to understand that revelation does not end when angels disappear. It continues when you live as though heaven never left. Still, the vision of your new home calls to you. You can see flashes of it when you pray, when you forgive, when you choose light over anger. That home is not static, it grows with every act of faith. Every time you trust, another doorway appears. Every time you love, another window opens. It is as if you are building that place with your choices, brick by invisible brick. The Spirit begins to whisper again, not in thunder but in gentleness. You are closer now. Those words fill you with both awe and humility. You realize that your journey is no longer about waiting, it is about becoming. Heaven's timing is not delay, it is design. What feels like stillness is actually construction. Heaven's way of preparing your heart for what your eyes have yet to see. You look at the world again and notice how many people still walk in fog trying, searching, but unable to see beyond the immediate. You feel compassion rising. The peace you now carry is not meant to be hidden, the same way light fills every corner of your vision. Peace longs to fill the spaces around you. You become an ambassador of that unseen kingdom, the one the angels revealed through the photo of your new home. There are moments when your faith wavers, when you wonder if it was all imagination. But then heaven reminds you through Scripture, as Jesus himself declared in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 14, "You are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden." That line pierces through every doubt. It's the Father's way of saying, you are not just on your way home, you are meant to shine like home itself. That truth humbles you. You realize that what heaven shows is never just for comfort, it's for calling. The photo was proof that you were never forgotten. But it was also a mirror, revealing the divine nature rising within you. Every prayer, every act of mercy, every moment of courage builds that light stronger. The darkness cannot understand it, but it can't extinguish it either. As this truth settles in your spirit, a quiet instruction forms in your heart. Mark this moment, not to worship the message, but to remember it. Heaven loves reminders, symbols that echo faith. So as an act of alignment, as a sign that you've received what heaven is shaping within you, leave a single number in the comments below, 888. That number carries a sacred rhythm. The shape itself never ends, it flows in eternal loops, like the cycle of grace that never runs dry. It speaks of new beginnings birthed from completion, of heaven's pattern repeating without break. Every time you see it, let it remind you that your story is not closing, it's evolving, renewed, reborn, restored. When you write 888, you're not typing digits, you're making declaration. You're saying to heaven, I am ready for what's next. I step into the new. I receive the continuation of divine grace in my life. The angels take note of every act of faith, and this one becomes a symbol etched in eternity's ledger. So write it with reverence, with hope, with quiet certainty. 888, a whisper of endless renewal, a sign that the photo heaven showed you is no longer distant. It now lives inside you, glowing, unfolding, becoming. And as you release that number, feel what it carries: completion turning into creation, endings transforming into openings. 888 is not a code. It's a confession of faith. It means, I am ready for my next divine chapter. Heaven hears, heaven records, heaven responds. The days that follow are quieter, yet filled with meaning. You move through ordinary routines, but everything feels touched by light. The smallest details, a reflection in glass, the sound of footsteps, the rhythm of rain seem to speak in gentle code. You no longer separate the sacred from the simple. It's as if heaven has folded into your daily life, whispering through the fabric of every moment. Each morning, you wake with a sense of purpose you can't fully explain. You feel watched over, guided, and steadied. The image of your new home remains in your heart, but now it serves a new purpose. It isn't only your destination, it has become your compass. When confusion rises, you close your eyes and remember the glow that surrounded you in that vision. The peace returns instantly, reminding you that no chaos can exist in a soul that knows where it belongs. The angels don't need to appear visibly anymore. Their guidance has moved inward. What was once instruction now feels like instinct. You know when to wait and when to move, when to speak and when to be silent. You realize this is how heaven trains those it trusts, by letting them grow into discernment rather than depending on signs. You recall the words of that earlier message, "You are closer now." You carry them quietly, almost like a heartbeat. And indeed, life begins to shift. People notice your calm. Some are drawn to it, not understanding why. They see no wings, no halo, just the steady light of someone who has been with heaven. Your peace becomes contagious. Where once you absorbed others' storms, now your presence becomes their shelter. You start to understand that heaven's home was never meant to remain a mystery to you. It was meant to train your perception, to show you how to recognize heaven's design while your feet are still on earth. You see it now, the way mercy appears disguised as delay, how correction comes wrapped in love, how divine timing never fails. Your new home in the Spirit becomes your teacher. Every corner of that luminous dwelling holds a parable that unfolds through your daily life. The gates you saw there remind you of choices, the entrances you open or close in thought and speech. The light-filled rooms represent states of heart gratitude, forgiveness, patience. The flowing river stands for surrender, constantly cleansing whatever tries to cling to your soul. You begin to live symbolically, aware that every reaction is either building or dimming that heavenly reflection inside you. Sometimes you wonder why you, out of so many, were chosen to see this. But then understanding comes softly. It was not to make you proud, but to make you responsible. Revelation always carries weight. To see heaven is to be entrusted with a piece of it. And you now realize that this trust was given because you had endured enough darkness to appreciate the light. It was proclaimed in the second letter to Timothy, chapter 1, verse 7. For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, of love, and of a sound mind. Those words pulse through you now. They explain everything: the courage you feel in moments that once brought anxiety, the peace that remains even when answers don't. It's as if heaven replaced your old reflexes with divine ones. Where you used to panic, you now pause. Where you once doubted, you now discern. Your transformation is quiet but undeniable. You aren't trying to become holy, you are remembering that you already are. The photo the angel showed was never a future prize, it was a mirror of your truest form, unveiled in glory. And as your spirit aligns with it, your outer world begins to reflect the same harmony. You catch yourself smiling more, even in uncertainty. You no longer pray from desperation, but from assurance. The connection between you and heaven feels constant now, a pulse that never fades. Sometimes you sense a fragrance in the air, one that doesn't belong to any flower you know. Other times, a stillness falls so deep that time itself seems to bow. Those are the moments when heaven brushes near, just enough to remind you, we are with you still. You don't speak of it often. Some things are too sacred for casual words. But the peace within you has become its own testimony. You live it quietly, steadily, allowing heaven's photo to turn into heaven's presence through every heartbeat, every breath, every choice. The angels no longer need to reveal new images. You have already become one. The night comes softly, carrying the hush that follows divine revelation. You sit by the window, watching the last traces of daylight melt into shadow. The air holds a certain holiness now, a sacred quiet that feels alive. You realize that peace is not the absence of sound, but the presence of understanding. The angels taught you that long before they left your sight. There was a time when silence frightened you. You feared it meant abandonment, that heaven had turned its face away. But now, you know silence is often how heaven speaks the loudest. It is the space where wisdom gathers, where unseen hands shape what words cannot. You feel that again tonight, a hush so deep it feels like an embrace. You close your eyes, and instantly, the image of your home returns not as a vision to marvel at, but as a presence within. You see its golden light flicker faintly behind your eyelids, as if it lives inside your heartbeat. You understand now that the home the angels showed you was never built from stone or precious metal. It was woven from faith, obedience, and love. It was constructed every time you chose to believe when nothing made sense. It grew brighter every time you forgave without reason. In this stillness, the Spirit begins to reveal another layer of the mystery. The home you saw is more than yours alone. It is part of a vast network of dwellings, all connected like stars forming constellations in the night sky. Every chosen one has a place in that pattern, every obedient soul a light that contributes to the grand design. Together, they form a city suspended between realms, the living blueprint of divine harmony. You see glimpses of it in prayer, in moments of compassion, in the unity of hearts that chase the same light. It is what heaven calls the Garden of Memory. The angels named it so because it is where every tear becomes seed and every trial grows into beauty. You begin to understand why they wanted you to see your portion of that place, so that you would recognize how even your private struggles are part of something cosmic and eternal. Every moment of endurance, every hidden act of kindness, adds another flower to that celestial garden. Nothing has been wasted, not the heartbreaks, not the waiting, not the questions that once burned unanswered. All of it has been recycled into radiance. Heaven's design wastes nothing. The soil of sorrow becomes the field of glory. You look out the window again, and the night sky feels different. Each star seems to pulse with meaning, like a heartbeat of heaven echoing through creation. You realize that the same light shining above is the same essence glowing within. The connection between heaven and earth isn't vertical, it's woven, threading through everything. You begin to sense that the more you live in alignment with heaven's rhythm, the more visible that invisible city becomes. You don't have to reach for it, you simply have to remain open. Heaven doesn't need striving, it needs stillness. It is always present, waiting for awareness to unveil it. You remember a verse you once read, and now its meaning unfolds in you like a sunrise. As was spoken in the sacred texts of old in the book of Psalms, chapter 16, verse 11. You make known to me the path of life. You will fill me with joy in your presence, with eternal pleasures at your right hand. The path of life, that is what this journey truly is. The vision, the silence, the transformation, all of it is the unfolding of that path. The joy promised is not a distant prize, but the quiet satisfaction of knowing you are where heaven walks. You realize that your mission on earth is not to chase spiritual moments, but to live as one. To carry heaven's peace into boardrooms, classrooms, kitchens, and conversations. To let your words become gentle light in places where hope has dimmed. Every step, every breath can be worship if it carries awareness. And in that realization, the divide between heaven and earth fades even more. You no longer look up to find heaven, you look within. You are learning what the angels meant when they said your home was alive. It breathes, it moves, it grows each time you remember who you are and why you're here. The night deepens. The stars shimmer like promises. Somewhere beyond sight, the angels watch, not to control, but to celebrate. They know the message took root. You have become a fragment of heaven walking in human form, a keeper of light, a vessel of stillness in a restless world. And as you breathe out one final time before sleep, You feel it again, that same gentle warmth that marked the first moment of revelation. The voice that doesn't speak in words, yet says everything: you are home. Even now, dawn breaks softly over the horizon, and with it, a sense of renewal washes over you. The world outside seems unchanged, yet everything within you feels reborn. You have crossed an invisible threshold. What once felt like mystery now feels like memory. You are no longer simply a receiver of revelation. You have become a carrier of it. Your movements have purpose. Even the way you breathe seems guided. Heaven has woven its rhythm into your heartbeat. You no longer need to search for signs, because the signs now flow through you. Every thought steeped in gratitude becomes a bridge. Every word rooted in peace becomes a song that heaven can echo. As you walk, you begin to understand how heaven's architecture is not still, it's living. The walls of your home, the ones you saw glowing with golden fire, are being constructed through the choices you make each day. Every time you act in love, heaven builds. Every time you forgive, heaven expands. Every time you choose truth, the foundations grow stronger. The image the angels gave you was never only for wonder, it was a pattern for building. You can feel that growth now, a quiet unfolding in your soul. The more you align with heaven's tone, the more the light within you deepens. No, it's not brightness that blinds, it's radiance that heals. People sense it. Some are drawn near without knowing why. Your peace becomes their question, your calm becomes their invitation. You don't need to preach, your presence speaks. According to what is revealed in the book of Proverbs, chapter 4, verse 18. The path of the righteous is like the morning sun, shining ever brighter till the full light of day. That scripture pulses through your mind as you move through the morning. It describes exactly what is happening to you. The light isn't static, it's growing. You realize that revelation doesn't end when the vision fades. It continues each time you choose awareness over distraction, faith over fear, and grace over judgment. The angels no longer need to appear, because heaven's communication has changed form. It has moved from vision to vibration, from imagery to impulse. You know what to do without being told. When someone nearby is hurting, compassion rises before logic. When anxiety tries to whisper, peace speaks louder. You have become fluent in the unspoken language of heaven. And yet, there's a moment of tenderness that returns today, a sudden awareness of how far you've come. You think back to the first time you doubted your worth. The times you mistook silence for distance, pain for punishment. Now you see them differently. They were never barriers, they were bridges. Every ache, every delay, every unanswered prayer carved space inside you for more light. Heaven was never withholding, it was preparing. You close your eyes and feel it again, that gentle hum of eternity moving through your veins. The same energy that formed the stars now beats quietly in your chest. You are no longer trying to reach heaven. You are realizing heaven has reached you. This realization stirs something sacred. You feel compelled to mark this moment, to ground it in action, to let heaven know you understand. So you pause, breathe, and type these words below: I shine now. It may seem simple, but heaven honors simplicity. Those 3 words carry more than declaration, they carry identity. When you write them, you aren't claiming perfection, you're acknowledging transformation. You're saying, the dawn has come for me. The light is no longer waiting, I am living it. The angels rejoice when truth takes form through words. And this truth, I shine now, becomes your covenant. It seals what heaven has started in you. You are not reflecting borrowed light anymore. You are radiating your own, born of revelation, refined through endurance, sustained by grace. For a while, You just sit there, letting the warmth of those words sink deep. The photo of your home still glows behind your eyes, but now it feels closer than ever. The boundaries between vision and reality blur, until you can't tell where one ends and the other begins. You whisper one more time, softly to yourself and to the sky, "I shine now." And in that whisper, the whole of heaven agrees. You sense the atmosphere shift, a quiet acknowledgement from the unseen. Heaven receives even the smallest confession of light. "I shine now" isn't wishful thinking. It's heaven's affirmation echoing back through your spirit. That short phrase becomes a key, unlocking confidence, peace, and presence. Each time you speak it, it reawakens the truth. You no longer chase illumination, you are illumination in motion. The morning after your declaration feels different. The light doesn't just touch the world, it seems to rise from within you. Every breath feels like a small sunrise. Every thought carries warmth. You begin to sense how heaven's message isn't meant to stay contained. It is meant to ripple outward, to move through you into others. You remember what the angels once said, that revelation becomes incomplete until it's shared. It is like a melody that only finds its power when sung aloud. Keeping it inside is like hiding a candle under a basket. But when you let it shine, the light multiplies, spilling into corners you'll never see, but heaven surely will. So you begin to speak differently. You tell stories of peace where you used to tell stories of pain. You listen with patience instead of judgment. And somehow, you notice that your presence alone begins to soothe. The more you share the light, the stronger it grows. You start to understand why heaven entrusts vision only to willing hearts. Because light demands movement, it isn't meant to stay still. It's a river, not a pond. When you hold revelation, it will always find a way to flow through your actions, your words, your kindness. Every step you take becomes a spark in someone else's dark. And then, a thought rises quietly inside. Perhaps the reason you were shown your heavenly home was not only to comfort you, but to remind you that everyone deserves to find their way home. Some will never see what you saw, but they can feel it through you. That is your calling, to make the unseen felt. You look again at the world, and you see the need everywhere. Some are weary, others angry, many simply lost. And you realize that heaven's message is not a secret, it's medicine. Every word spoken with love is a drop of healing oil poured into a broken heart. Every act of generosity is a bridge between despair and hope. You remember the verse that once steadied you. The apostle reminds us in his letter to the Corinthians, chapter 9, verse 11. You will be enriched in every way so that you can be generous on every occasion. And through us, your generosity will result in thanksgiving to God. Those words fall like rain on fertile ground. You understand them now not as command, but as invitation. Generosity is not obligation, it's overflow. It's what happens when a heart touched by heaven begins to beat for others. You realize that everything heaven gives you, peace, revelation, strength, is meant to be shared. So you find small ways to do that. When you press like, it's as if you place another lantern along the road, helping a traveler find their way. When you share, it's like tossing a message in a bottle into the ocean, trusting it will reach the one who needs it most. When you subscribe, it's like planting your roots in a garden of light, saying, I want to keep growing here. And if your spirit stirs deeper, heaven offers another act of worship, one that remains silent, unseen, yet deeply sacred. To donate is not transaction, but transformation. It is like placing a single seed in rich soil, trusting heaven to grow a tree that will shade others. It's like adding a drop of oil to the lamp so its flame never dies out. Your offering becomes a whisper to the divine, keep the light burning, not just for me, but for all who search. You feel no pressure, only peace. Heaven never demands, it invites. The freedom to give is the evidence of grace. You realize that generosity isn't about amount but alignment. Even a small act done with love becomes eternal currency in heaven's economy. So you breathe, smile, and let gratitude flow. You think of all the hearts this message might reach, the ones hiding tears behind laughter, the ones silently asking for proof that heaven still sees them. And you understand now every gesture of support helps keep that message alive, floating through the noise like a steady beam in the storm. When you choose to give, whether through time, attention, or a heartfelt offering, you become part of heaven's architecture. You are adding your own stone to the temple of light that is being built across the earth. And as you sit there, watching the light shift through your window, you feel heaven's quiet approval. You sense that the angels are still near, smiling, because they see what you've become, not a receiver of light, but a multiplier of it. The flame they once carried to you now burns from within you. So let your giving, your engagement, your sharing, your support be like music played freely without demand or expectation. Because true light doesn't ask to be seen, it simply shines. And in shining, it transforms everything it touches. Evening settles again, but this time it carries a tenderness instead of loneliness. The air feels full, like something invisible has been completed. You sit in that quiet glow, realizing that heaven's messages no longer arrive as sudden bursts of revelation. They flow through you now like a second heartbeat. You are no longer waiting to receive, you are learning to be the message. It's strange how gentle this transformation has been. There was no thunder, no dramatic sign, just a slow, steady becoming. You think back to when the angels first appeared, to the awe and trembling of that first glimpse. Now, that same power rests inside you, calm but unshakable. Heaven hasn't moved away, it has moved in. You start to see that your earthly home has begun to mirror the vision you once saw. The light in your room feels softer, as if it remembers the glow of that other realm. The sound of your own breathing feels sacred. Even the way you walk across the floor carries quiet reverence. You are learning that holiness is not found only in churches or temples, it exists wherever awareness meets gratitude. The world outside your window still rushes, still forgets. People chase what fades, worry about what never mattered. But you observe it differently now. You see the rhythm of divine patience moving even through chaos. It is humbling to realize that heaven's timeline is not delayed, it is precise. Every event, every encounter, every silence has its place in the choreography of grace. Sometimes you remember the photo the angels showed you, the shining home, the golden pathways, the river of peace. You realize it wasn't a preview of escape, it was a reflection of identity. You were being shown what you already contain. The home was never waiting at the end of your journey. It was waiting to awaken inside you. There's a wordless gratitude that grows when you understand this. You find yourself thanking heaven for things that once frustrated you, for the closed doors that redirected you, for the waiting that deepened your faith, for the tears that watered unseen blessings. You begin to see mercy hidden in every moment that once felt like loss. You remember how you once begged for signs, for something visible to prove you were seen. Now you realize the proof was never external, it was in the endurance heaven gave you. Faith was the miracle all along, the ability to keep believing when sight disappeared. That was where divinity met humanity. Heaven speaks clearly through the words in Deuteronomy, chapter 31, verse 8. The Lord himself goes before you and will be with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. Do not be afraid, do not be discouraged. That truth lives inside you now. You no longer look for reassurance. You live in it. Fear no longer has the same grip because presence has taken its place. You can sense the divine before you step into any room. You don't know what the future holds, but you know who holds you through it. You think of others, those who are still waiting for peace to come, still wondering if heaven has forgotten them. You carry them in prayer, not from pity but from recognition. You know what it feels like to stand in that valley. You know the sound of silence and the weight of doubt. And because you've been there, your compassion runs deeper. Your understanding becomes a bridge others can walk across. Each day now feels like a quiet partnership between heaven and earth. You speak less but listen more. You move slower but with greater certainty. You live with your eyes open, searching not for miracles but for meaning. And meaning appears everywhere in laughter, in conversation, even in the pauses between words. You begin to grasp what eternity truly means. It's not endless time, it's timeless presence. When you step into awareness, you're already standing in eternity's threshold. The angels taught you that, and now you live it without needing to explain it. There is peace in not needing to prove anything. You don't have to chase validation or defend your faith. Heaven's witness within you is enough. The same light that filled your vision of home has anchored itself in your chest. It burns quietly, steadily, never demanding attention, only offering illumination. You close your eyes, and instead of asking, you simply rest. No more striving, no more searching. You are home right where you are. The angels may not appear again, but you know they're near. Every breath feels like their whisper, every heartbeat their reminder. And somewhere in the silence, you feel heaven smile content, because the message has become one with the messenger. There are days when heaven feels almost tangible, when the air itself seems to shimmer, as if unseen wings are brushing through it. You have learned to recognize that feeling now. It's the quiet signal that something new is unfolding. Revelation doesn't always shout. Sometimes it arrives like the soft unfolding of dawn. You sense that another message is coming, not through vision this time, but through understanding. Heaven no longer needs to show you pictures, it trusts you to perceive truth. You are not the same person who once needed proof. You have become someone who lives in constant awareness. The spirit begins to move in your thoughts, and you know it's time to listen. There's a shift in the atmosphere, gentle but unmistakable. Heaven whispers it's time to open the scroll. You pause, heart steady, as light seems to pass through you, not the blinding kind, but the kind that reveals. You begin to understand that the golden scroll the angels once promised isn't a physical object. It's revelation written upon the fabric of your soul. It contains instructions for your next season, the rhythm of your assignment on earth. You don't see words on paper. You sense truth rising within you, sentences made of knowing, paragraphs made of peace. The first truth that forms is simple. You are not waiting for destiny. Destiny is waiting for your obedience. It pierces gently, yet deeply. You realize heaven has been ready long before you were. More understanding flows. The scroll speaks of alignment, that every decision from here must echo eternity. It says that every action, even the smallest, either builds heaven's design or delays it. You feel the weight of that sacred responsibility, but not as a burden. It feels like honor. Heaven trusts you with purpose. You are reminded again of the connection between your heart and the home you were shown. The scroll reveals that what you saw wasn't just about rest, it was about reign. Heaven isn't calling you only to dwell there one day, but to govern with grace now. You are being trained to carry heaven's order into earthly chaos, to speak light where confusion reigns, as the prophet wrote in the scroll of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 2. Write the vision and make it plain upon tablets, that he may run who reads it. Those words ignite something in you. You see that heaven has always been a writer and you, its living page. Every act of faith becomes ink. Every decision a stroke that shapes the story heaven is telling through you. You don't have to chase purpose, it's already writing itself through your obedience. Then, as you let this truth settle, you sense one final instruction, an act of agreement between you and heaven. It isn't loud or commanding, it's a whisper, almost like a smile in your spirit. The message is clear: mark this moment again, so it may echo through time. So you write one number below 111. This number symbolizes divine instruction, alignment, and awakening. It represents the moment when heaven's plan and your readiness finally meet. It is the signal of unity, the mind, the spirit, and the mission moving as one. When you type 111, you're saying, I am ready to receive what heaven is releasing. I align my will with divine purpose. I am awake to what the Spirit is revealing now. The angels watch, not as spectators, but as witnesses. They know that numbers written in faith are not just symbols. They are declarations that shift the atmosphere. Your small act of obedience becomes a seed of destiny, sown into eternity's soil. You feel the warmth again, that same pulse of divine approval you felt the first time heaven spoke your name. The scroll within you closes, but its words keep glowing. You know what it means now. Heaven's message has moved from revelation to responsibility, from image to instruction, from promise to partnership. You are no longer merely the one who sees. You are the one who carries button, who writes, who builds. And the light that once came through angels now flows through you, steady and unstoppable. The number 111 becomes more than a symbol, it becomes a rhythm you walk by. Each one stands for unity, heaven, spirit, and purpose walking in step as one divine flow. Every time you see 111, let it remind you that alignment is not perfection, it's agreement. It means choosing peace when chaos calls, faith when fear demands attention. It's the quiet yes that keeps heaven's plan moving. So write 111 with intention. See it as a key unlocking clarity and direction. Let it whisper to your heart, you are in sync with heaven's design, awake, aware, and aligned. The days that follow feel slower, but in the stillness there is meaning. You notice that time itself seems softer, less demanding, as if heaven has loosened its grip on clocks and schedules just so you can breathe more deeply. You walk through familiar places, streets, rooms, faces, but they seem changed. Not because they are new, but because you are seeing them through the light of the scroll. Everything you encounter begins to carry a subtle message. A leaf drifting in the wind speaks of surrender. The laughter of a child becomes a lesson in joy. Even a passing storm reminds you that peace isn't found in the absence of thunder, but in knowing the sky always clears. Heaven has become your interpreter, translating the ordinary into revelation. It surprises you how natural this feels. You used to think spirituality was something to be reached, a state to attain. Now you see it's something to be remembered. You were never separate from heaven, you simply forgot the sound of its language. The scroll inside you continues to unfold, teaching you to listen not with your ears but with your being. There is a softness that follows revelation. You no longer feel the need to prove or perform. You have nothing to prove to heaven, and heaven has nothing left to prove to you. You exist in harmony now, grace breathing through your humanity. You begin to understand what divine maturity feels like: peace without passivity, confidence without pride, love without conditions. Sometimes in the middle of the night, you awaken for no reason. The world outside is silent, but within, you sense a hum, a vibration too pure for sound. It feels like prayer happening without words, like your very existence has become intercession. You realize that this is what the angels meant when they spoke of alignment. When your heart beats in rhythm with heaven, every breath becomes worship. You remember a verse you once read long ago, and now its truth glows inside you with fresh clarity. We are reminded through the writings of David in the book of Psalms, chapter 46, verse 10. Be still and know that I am God. Those words once felt like command. Now they feel like invitation. Stillness is no longer inactivity, it's communion. As the days pass, you start seeing that heaven's presence doesn't erase human life, it enhances it. The laughter you share with others feels fuller. The silence between sentences feels sacred. Even pain, when it visits, carries less sting because you know it cannot stay. You have touched permanence, and once eternity has brushed your soul, temporary things lose their power. Sometimes you catch yourself watching others the way heaven watches, with compassion instead of comparison. You see exhaustion behind confidence, longing beneath laughter, and instead of judgment, you feel tenderness. You realize that revelation is never meant to isolate, it's meant to expand empathy. The more you know heaven, the more you love earth. The more you carry light, the gentler your voice becomes, and you begin to notice how heaven hides in unexpected places, in conversations that seem random, in moments that feel delayed, in disappointments that redirect your steps. Every pause is a doorway. Every ending conceals a beginning. The scroll taught you to see time differently, to trust that what looks like silence is often strategy. Heaven never hurries, because it never doubts. In your quiet moments, you return again and again to that first vision, the radiant home shining like dawn. Only now, when you picture it, you realize it's less a location and more a reflection. It mirrors your own spirit, growing clearer, stronger, steadier. The walls of that home seem to pulse with your heartbeat. You and the vision are no longer separate stories. You are one unfolding narrative. And though the angels no longer speak in words, you still feel them nearby. They have become like the air, unseen but essential. Their silence is not absence, it is trust. They no longer need to guide you step by step because you have learned to walk in light naturally. You carry their essence, their calm, their certainty. You wonder sometimes if this is what heaven feels every day, a steady awareness that all is well, that nothing truly lost can remain missing. And perhaps you think that is what it means to live redeemed, to live unafraid of what changes because you have already glimpsed what never will. You smile quietly at the thought. You have not reached the end of your journey, only another level of seeing. Heaven continues to teach through simplicity, reminding you that revelation is not a moment to chase but a state to inhabit. You are no longer striving for divine encounters. You are the encounter. Wherever you walk, heaven walks too. The morning light creeps gently across your floor, and you wake not with urgency but with peace. The stillness feels full alive, aware. You have learned that heaven does not always arrive with trumpets or visions. Sometimes it comes through quiet consistency, through the faithful rhythm of an ordinary day. You stretch, breathe, and realize something subtle has changed again. The air around you feels almost fragrant, as if the unseen garden from your heavenly home has started to bloom here. You can sense it: purity, calm, and something deeper: belonging. You are beginning to live as one who is already home. You move through the day as though following invisible choreography. Everything has meaning now. The people you meet, the tasks you complete, even the pauses between actions, all of it feels orchestrated. You can no longer call anything coincidence. There is purpose in each moment, a hidden thread weaving through it all. This awareness doesn't make you proud, it humbles you. You realize how carefully heaven arranges every detail, how even the smallest decision, the quietest kindness, ripples into eternity. It's as if heaven has placed a brush in your hand, and every action paints another stroke on a masterpiece only eternity will reveal in full. At times, you pause and listen inwardly. The silence speaks clearer than words. It tells you when to move and when to wait. It teaches you the rhythm of rest, a divine cadence that balances motion with stillness. You've come to see that obedience is not about constant doing. It's about constant awareness. Heaven moves through those who stay available, not merely busy. Your dreams have changed, too. They are not filled with fear or confusion anymore. Instead, they are peaceful landscapes, echoing the same light from your first vision. Sometimes, you dream of walking through the corridors of that radiant home again. But now, the difference is this: you don't feel like a visitor. You feel like a resident. Every room you enter feels familiar, every sound known. It's as if your soul travels nightly to remember what your heart already carries. In waking life, you feel those dreams lingering, soft reminders that heaven is near. You've learned that the veil between realms isn't a barrier, only a shift in focus. When your mind is still and your heart is open, you can sense the nearness of what others call distant. Heaven was never far, only awareness was. You find yourself meditating on a verse that once puzzled you but now makes perfect sense. The Word of God declares in the book of Romans, chapter 14, verse 17, "For the kingdom of God is not a matter of eating and drinking, but of righteousness, peace, and joy in the Holy Spirit." That truth feels alive inside you. You understand that the kingdom is not something you enter, it is something you become. Righteousness becomes your integrity, peace your atmosphere, joy your language. Heaven's reality has moved from doctrine into experience. As you walk through the day, you begin to notice others drawn to you without reason. Strangers smile longer. Conversations deepen effortlessly. Some tell you they feel calm around you. They cannot explain it, but you can. They are sensing the echo of your home, the resonance of the divine dwelling that has begun to take form within you. You carry it gently, not as power, but as presence. You've learned that true authority never shouts. It stands quietly, like light in a darkened room, unthreatened, unwavering. Heaven doesn't need to argue, it simply is. In that realization, you find new humility. You no longer pray for signs or wonders. You pray to remain transparent, to let the light pass through you untainted. You understand that the greatest miracle is transformation, and the purest worship is consistency. Even your pain has been transformed. What once felt like fracture now feels like formation. You see how each breaking only made more room for light. The cracks were never signs of weakness, they were entrances for grace. Heaven repairs nothing by covering. It redeems by filling. At times, memories of your struggles return, but they no longer sting. They shine. You can look at them and whisper thank you. Because now, you see how every unanswered question became a corridor leading here to understanding, to peace, to wholeness. As the sun lowers and shadows stretch across your room, you feel heaven's gentle gaze upon you, not watching to judge, but to celebrate. You realize that every second lived in awareness is worship. You have become what heaven dreamed you would be, a carrier of its calm. a reflection of its order, a breathing part of its kingdom. And as night returns, you close your eyes with the same serenity that filled your first vision. You no longer wait for angels to appear. You rest knowing they never left. Heaven's home isn't ahead of you, it's all around you, within you, and flowing through everything you touch. The sun rises once more, soft and golden, stretching across the horizon like an open scroll. You sit in the warmth of its light and realize that this gentle unfolding is what heaven feels like when it spills quietly into ordinary life. There is no fanfare, no thunder, just steady presence, peace that breathes, light that teaches. You have walked far since that first vision. The fear that once haunted you has turned into reverence. The confusion that clouded your path has melted into clarity. Now, when you close your eyes, you see not just your heavenly home, but the world glowing with fragments of it, reflections of divine order stitched into everything. You can sense that heaven's message has matured within you. It no longer arrives as revelation to be stored away, but as a living current, moving outward through compassion, words, and quiet acts. You've become a vessel through which heaven's peace travels. And now, heaven whispers once more, not as command but as invitation, share the light you've carried. You understand what that means. Light, after all, exists to be given. A candle loses nothing by lighting another flame. You've learned that every expression of grace, every word of truth, every gesture of kindness is a spark that can ignite hope in someone else's night. You think of the community of souls who have found these words, people scattered across cities, nations, timelines. Yet somehow, through this shared message, hearts have become threads in one vast tapestry of light. Heaven rejoices in this hidden fellowship, this network of luminous hearts who may never meet in person but are connected by one sound, one breath, one faith. According to what is revealed in the Gospel of Luke, chapter 6, verse 38, "Give, and it will be given to you, a good measure, pressed down, shaken together and running over, will be poured into your lap." Those words do not speak of obligation, but of rhythm. Heaven's design is a cycle of giving and receiving, a tide that carries blessings both ways. Every act of generosity, no matter how small, becomes a seed that heaven multiplies in unseen gardens. And so, you feel the gentle prompting again, not a demand, but a reminder that even messages made of light need vessels to travel through. When you like these words, it is like lighting another candle in the distance. When you share, it is as if you are opening a window, letting the fragrance of heaven's peace drift farther. When you subscribe, it's a way of saying, "I want to keep walking in this light." When you comment, even a single word of reflection becomes a ripple, a stone dropped into the waters of faith that sends waves of peace outward. Your voice is not noise, it is harmony joining heaven's song. These are not commands, they are gestures of connection, threads weaving more hearts into this flow of grace. And if your spirit feels stirred deeper still, heaven offers another sacred way to sustain what it has begun. To donate is not to pay, it is to plant. It's like placing another stone in the foundation of a house that shelters many. It's like pouring another drop of oil into the lamp so it will keep glowing through the long night. Every seed given in love tells heaven, "Keep this light alive for those still searching." You sense how delicate this invitation feels. It carries no weight of guilt, no pressure, only beauty. Giving is not a duty, it's participation. It is what happens naturally when the heart overflows. You have learned that the truest offerings are quiet, sincere, and often unseen by others, yet fully noticed by heaven. So you let the choice rest freely in the listener's heart. Maybe they will light a candle, whisper a prayer, leave a word, or extend support in silence. Each act is holy, each gesture timeless. Heaven doesn't measure what is given, it measures the love behind it. Every click, every share, every comment, every offering, every word spoken in kindness becomes another heartbeat in the rhythm of divine generosity. As you sit there, letting gratitude fill you, you feel a wave of warmth rise piece upon piece. Heaven smiles not because you've done enough, but because you've understood. You realize the journey was never just about seeing your home. It was about helping others find theirs. The angels draw near once more, though unseen, and the air shimmers faintly. You hear it not a command, not even a whisper, but the echo of divine joy. Keep the light moving. So you breathe deeply, your heart steady, your hands open. This is what it means to live heaven's rhythm, to give freely, to shine quietly, to trust endlessly. The flame you carry will never fade, for it burns with the same eternal fire that first called your name. Night has fallen again, but it feels different from before. Darkness no longer feels like an ending, it feels like a canvas. The stars above you shimmer like scattered promises, reminders that light never truly disappears, it only changes form. You stand at the window, breathing in the quiet, and sense that heaven is watching, not as a distant observer, but as an artist admiring a masterpiece still unfolding. You've learned something profound. Revelation matures in silence. What begins as fire must settle into warmth, and what starts as vision must root itself in ordinary living. The angels once spoke in thunder, now heaven speaks through peace. You realize this is what true spiritual growth feels like, not an endless series of highs and lows, but a steady expansion of awareness. Every experience has been part of that rhythm. The storms that once frightened you were only heaven's way of deepening your roots. The stillness that once unnerved you was preparation for hearing subtler tones of truth. Each loss carved space for new understanding. Even your tears, once signs of pain, became rivers that softened the ground of your soul so that grace could take root. You are living in the harmony that Scripture once described as mystery. As the Apostle reminds us in his letter to the Colossians, chapter 3, verse 15. Let the peace of Christ rule in your hearts. Since as members of one body you were called to peace. That line doesn't sound like instruction anymore, it feels like reality. Peace has truly become your authority. You no longer chase moments of glory, you live inside them. Heaven is not an occasional visitation, it is an atmosphere. You carry it quietly into every room, and even if no one else knows it, the energy shifts. Conversations soften, hearts open, and tension dissolves. You have become a silent intercessor, someone through whom peace flows naturally. The beauty of it is that you don't even try. You've stopped striving to be light because you've realized you are light. It's not effort, it's essence. What once took faith to believe now takes breath to express. And every breath, every heartbeat, every thought in alignment adds another note to heaven's endless song. You begin to see that your journey has always been circular, not linear. What you thought were endings were only returns. The photo of your new home was both prophecy and mirror. Each step you took, each revelation you received, was drawing you back to yourself, to the image heaven first dreamed when it created you. You are not becoming something new. You are remembering something ancient. The angels' silence now feels like trust. They no longer need to stand before you in light because they are behind you, within you, around you, woven into the rhythm of your days. Sometimes you catch a shimmer in the corner of your eye, a flicker too fast for words, and you smile. You know they're still there, quietly guarding, gently guiding. You have come to love the unspoken moments more than the spectacular ones. They are truer, deeper, more intimate. You know now that heaven's greatest language is subtlety. Its voice doesn't compete with the world's noise, it waits for quiet hearts to listen. You find yourself drawn to prayer differently now. Not as request, but as resonance. You don't ask, you align. You don't beg, you breathe. Prayer has become conversation without words. Two frequencies merging until there's no distinction between the speaker and the listener. You pray by living attentively, by noticing beauty, by extending mercy. Sometimes you wonder what lies beyond this stage of awareness. But then you remember heaven is infinite, and learning it never ends. Each revelation only opens the door to another. The more you understand, the more mystery expands. And somehow, that doesn't frustrate you anymore, it comforts you. It means heaven is alive, always moving, always more. You walk outside before sleep. The air is cool, gentle. A soft wind brushes your skin and it feels familiar, the same kind that moved through your first vision. The same breath that carried the photo of your home now moves through the trees. You realize heaven never really left. It simply changed its shape so you could meet it in new ways. You look up at the night sky one last time. The stars seem closer than ever, as though they are windows instead of lights. And deep within, you hear the quiet voice of eternity say, "You are ready." Ready not for arrival, but for embodiment, for carrying what was shown into all that is still unseen. You smile. You understand now that the home the angels revealed is not only where you are going, it is what you have become. The days flow like gentle rivers now, no longer marked by striving, no longer divided between sacred and ordinary. You live in a rhythm that feels both timeless and alive, as if heaven's heartbeat has synced with your own. The vision that once startled you into awe now rests quietly within you. A familiar presence, a steady glow that asks for nothing and gives everything. You walk through the world differently. Where you once saw separation, you now see threads connecting everything, light weaving through laughter, redemption hidden in pain, purpose wrapped in pause. You realize that heaven's design was never about escape from the world, but immersion into it to bring the same peace you witnessed in that divine home into every corner of creation. There is no longer tension between where you are and where you're going. You have understood what the angels meant from the beginning, that the dwelling prepared for you is not only future, it is unfolding even now. Every act of kindness builds its walls. Every moment of truth polishes its light. You are both the builder and the inhabitant, the student and the song. Your memory drifts back to the very first day, the moment the veil trembled. The light appeared, and the message found you. It feels distant and yet intimate, like something that happened both yesterday and 1,000 years ago. You realize that heaven didn't just send you a revelation, it sent you a relationship. That message wasn't about information, it was about transformation. It was heaven's way of saying, remember who you are, now you do. The journey that once felt like ascent has become return. You are returning to wholeness, to simplicity, to the quiet certainty that love was always the center. You finally see that all divine messages, every vision, every whisper have one purpose: to bring you home to yourself, where God already dwells. There's a soft nostalgia that fills you as you reflect on everything that has unfolded. The angels, the light, the photo, they were never interruptions to life. They were invitations into it. What you once called supernatural is now your natural state of being. You carry heaven not like a destination, but like an atmosphere. It breathes through your laughter. It steadies your hands. It softens your eyes. As Jesus himself declared in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 22, "The eye is the lamp of the body. If your eyes are healthy, your whole body will be full of light." That truth hums through you like a melody. Your sight, your way of seeing, has been healed. You no longer look for flaws, but for divine fingerprints. You no longer scan for darkness, but for the flicker of light hiding within it. This is what heaven's training has produced in you, the vision of grace. You notice how peace feels stronger now, not fragile but rooted. It no longer depends on good days or kind words. It exists because you exist. The peace within you has become unshakable, the kind born not from circumstances but from connection. Heaven's voice no longer visits, it abides. It doesn't instruct from above, it breathes from within. And so, life has become a quiet act of worship. Every morning feels like communion. Every breath feels like prayer. You understand now that worship isn't about songs or rituals. It's about awareness, about living awake to divine presence in every heartbeat, every sunrise, every moment of love exchanged between souls. Sometimes when you are still, you sense the angels again, not as radiant figures of fire and light, but as subtle warmth that moves through space. You feel their joy, not because of what you've achieved, but because you finally see what they've always known. Heaven was never a faraway place, it was an awakening. You think of others who will hear this message, perhaps one day long after you. You hope they, Mandan too, will feel what you feel now, that calm certainty that love is not a promise delayed, but a reality revealed. You hope they understand that the journey home begins the moment they stop searching outside and start listening within. As night falls, you step outside one last time. The air is cool, fragrant with earth and rain. The stars overhead shimmer like countless windows into eternity. You whisper softly into the vastness, not to ask, not to plead, but to thank. Thank you for the fire that refined, the silence that taught, the love that never left. A quiet realization fills you. Heaven doesn't end. It simply continues in deeper forms. The home you saw, the peace you felt, the words you received, they were all parts of one eternal conversation between Creator and creation. You were never just the listener. You were always meant to become the echo. And now, you are. The story has come full circle, yet the light doesn't fade, it expands. The same presence that began this journey still lingers now, gentle but powerful, breathing through every word that remains. You can feel it even here, in the space between sentences, heaven's quiet pulse, whispering that this is not an ending, but a continuation written through you. You've seen what happens when one spark is shared. Darkness retreats, hearts awaken, peace begins to travel. That same flame now rests in your hands. When you light these words, it's as though you're lifting your own lantern to say, I saw the light, and I choose to carry it forward. When you share, you open a window for someone else to glimpse the same sunrise. When you subscribe, you join the current of those walking in the same rhythm, souls who keep the glow alive together. And if the message has touched you deeper, if something in you stirred when heaven's breath brushed near, leave a comment below. A single line, a single heart, becomes more than interaction. It becomes echo. Your reflection, your truth, might be the spark that finds another in their midnight. For those who feel the gentle nudge to sustain this light beyond the moment, to donate is not to give away, it is to water the roots of a growing flame. It is a way of saying, let this voice keep reaching those still searching. Each offering, however small, becomes another ember in the fire that keeps hope alive. So breathe, smile, and move forward carrying what you've received. The story continues through you quietly, beautifully, eternally.